All right, and welcome back to the start of season 2027, season 4 here, with your Toronto Blue Jays Homegrown Challenge. Lucky Roberts here to continue the challenge. Here we are on February 18th, just the start of spring training, about to be opening day. And let's take a look at our rosters. I spent a little bit of time getting all the numbers to match out here, but we've got 28 here spring training. They're going to be our 28 we play with. Buffalo Bisons 18, Fisher Cats 15. They're going to be a little low on players, but so is everybody here. The highest we have our players are in AA, but those guys are international free agents I signed. And Vancouver Canadians. This is the rosters we're going here into the season with. And, a couple of ringers here, I think, is what I'll call them, in our roster for opening day. Our staff and bullpen, depth charts, and lineups. Pitching, it's going to be Luis Medina back to make his start. I don't know how much I support that, but I'll let our bench coach Centena do what he needs to. And that includes Medina making his start once again on the mound. International amateurs, we've already signed our guys. As we look into our player, staff, and shortlist, here's what we're looking with. CJ Sampson, Jorge Barbosa, two of our top guys. Barbosa making a step up to Rookie League last year, or this year, actually. This year, my apologies. As some of the other guys that have made some jumps here. Frank Ramirez to Rookie League. Tejeda to High A. Jorge Barbosa to Rookie League, as I said. David Guerrero to Rookie League. Sam Stem, High A. Cade McGee, High A. Patrick Forbes, High A for the 2027 season. This is what we're looking at here for our notable prospects. For pitchers, let's go all players. Here we are for all of our players. Daniel Contreras, who we just added at first base. 76 players here on the report. Some of these guys I might look to drop out of it once these 1.5 star players, once we get a little bit more of a verbose system. I don't think I used that word correctly, as my computer takes off, as it always does. But here we are. February 18th, I'll show you guys one more look at the roster here, and it's the first season with all of our own guys, and we're only going to get better and more depth here for our roster. This is our international complex as well. And yeah, here we are. Toronto Blue Jays now officially all homegrown players. So really great to see as we continue to crack on here. Also, here are developmental pieces on ranks based on their ranks in the league. This is how much we're spending on draft budget, player development budget, and scouting. And Drew Toussaint staying another year for another 3 years. We signed him till 2029. Our first injury here, Luis Carpio, is going to be out for 3 to 4 weeks. Hopefully he'll be back for opening day. I'm going to put him on the 10-day IL as I adjust our lineups just a little bit. Hopefully everybody else stays healthy. A player development update here for you, and it's a tough one. Peter Hans, CJ Sampson, Tovar, and Ledesma all seeing some drops in their potential, but I think something that is worth noting is that players can regain their potential pretty quickly once they start flying up the league. So, don't feel discouraged about seeing CJ Sampson drop a little bit, especially because, he hasn't made an appearance yet in Rookie League. As the injuries continue to pile up, Carpio is back being healthy, so that's a big addition that the Blue Jays here are going to get back on the table here. Carpio, one of our main players we're going to be leaning on throughout this long season. And if we also want to check our preseason predictions as they generate live right in front of you, and there's multiple sets of predictions that go through. The first one, 10 wins for your Toronto Blue Jays. We'll have another one. It's the highest we've had on the first one, but look at that ERA, 8.88. That's really high. They average climbing up just a little bit, though, so that's, I guess, an improvement. So here we are, opening day. Edward Rogers says we should try to keep an even record. Top minor league systems report has your Toronto Blue Jays in 4th, with Contreras slotting in 4th with the Blue Jays. Barbosa in 11th, Sampson with 23rd, and Roussel Shepard 79th. So we're starting to fly up. We just need to catch up to those damn Cleveland Guardians with Grady Emerson. So here we are, opening day. Luis Medina still a starter, still is Daiki Kim and Jesus Carrillo. Daiki Kim is going to be your season opener starter here for the Blue Jays. And our lineup's looking like this here. If we want to go off just default, this is what we're looking at. We've got everybody good starting, and then Braden Buchanan there at catcher, just because he's somewhat defensively sound. But it's gonna be tough. You may remember Buchanan as being our 19th round pick last year in the draft. He's just going to be filler for us, is what I've decided his role to be here for the Blue Jays. But on to opening day we go. And before then, just another player development update. Malmazan going up Schaus, all of a sudden now showing as a 1.5 star batter, which is great for him. Mark Barnard dropping a little bit, and Carpio increasing a little bit. So middle of the road development update there for you guys. As I might as well do this in real time. 1 day later, the Toronto Blue Jays and Red Sox facing off. Depth charts and lineups. Pitching staff. Bullpen to start is actually going to be Jesus Carrillo. So here we go. Play game versus Red Sox. This is going to be your lineup. So it's going to be Hiroshi Matsumoto at shortstop, David Palma third base, Su Yen Chen left field, Luis Carpio in the 4 slot, clean up, right field, Han Kyun Kim in second base, Luis Miera DH, Higashi first base, Nakamura center field, and then Braden Buchanan starting at catcher for us, with Jesus Carrillo starting pitching. So this is what we're looking at for the Red Sox lineup we're going to face, and it's going to be tough. They've got their right-hander Brian Wu on the mound here, and it's good because we've got some good lefty bats here in our lineup here. Settle to Centennia, and let's get into this game. So here we are in the Rogers Center. This is our defensive lineup here, and let's quick play this at bat. Let's get into it. The first pitch of your homegrown Blue Jays. Here we go, opening day versus the Red Sox in Toronto. Packed house. Probably the only packed house we'll have all season. But here we go. First pitch, just grounded over to second base. Easily controlled by your Blue Jays. Nice throw there by Hyun Kim to Higashi. Next at bat, Vargas up. And he's being hit. Carrillo hits Vargas. That's the first man on base for the Red Sox. And trying to steal now is Vargas. And he's easily thrown out. The one thing Braden Buchanan does have is a bit of an arm. And now it's Yanquiel Fernandez against Carrillo. One more out, and we're out of the inning. And it's a deep drive that does get down. He's going for 2, and he's going to get it. Man in scoring position for Boston. Next at bat, Matt Mervis coming up. Strike 3, side retired. Blue Jays get unscathed, but now time for us to get on the offensive. Hiroshi Matsumoto, 50 contact, 35 power. A deep drive, but it is going to get caught there in center field. Some, maybe a little bit more power when he gets on. Here comes David Palm with a switch hitting batter. Just slow dribble to first base. That's the second out. Here comes Su Yen Chen here in left field. Strike 3, and there goes the side. So I'll see you guys when we have an interesting situation with some runners in scoring position and stuff like that, or as we get through this game. So here in the second, or the third actually, the top of the third, Boston has 2 guys on already. And it's up for Jordan Lawler, Jesus Carrillo in a bit of a pickle already, full count. And he's going to walk to load the bases up. This is not looking good for Carrillo. Here comes Miguel Vargas. And he walks another player, this one for a run. And this could get ugly, folks. Yanquiel Fernandez, a nice hit. Is it going to drop down? It doesn't. It's picked up, but he's tagging. No, he's not. Carpio there, getting his hand on it. Matt Mervis now, left-hander. Double play would be huge. Full count. Walking in another run. And we might see a lot of this for the upcoming seasons. Here comes Ezekiel Duran. And another walk. He's walked in 3. Oh my goodness. Down the third base line, tags the bag for 1. Over to first. If the camera would pan. And he's safe. There's no double play. So that adds a 4th run on 2 hits for Boston. Trey Turner now trying to get out of it are the Blue Jays. And they're not. It's dribbling through the left side of the infield. He's throwing it from right field. Tagging. Could have tagged him out. The runner's safe. Close play there. And all of a sudden there's 5 runs in. And Blue Jays, Boston looking to add more here into the gap. And Luis Cab is the new pitcher. He's one of the guys who we just get out of this inning. Jesus. That's going to be 2 runs on a triple. And the thing is, it's through the infield again. Yeah, I'm going to call you guys when we're up to bat. And we'll see what the score is then. Because this is rough. And here we are in the bottom of the 8th. 14-0 for Boston. They tacked on 3 more in the 5th and 1 more in the 6th. Up to bat is Luis Miera here for the Blue Jays. It's a hit. It's weak, but it gets fair. Trying for 2. Miera does. It's going to be a close play here, but he gets into second base. A runner on for the first time for your Blue Jays. Or not for the first time. One of the first times, but a runner in scoring position for your Blue Jays. Here comes Higashi. 2-2 count. Strikeout would be huge. New pitcher coming in and gets the strikeout. That's a big one. Here comes Nakamura from center field. Weakly dribbled here on and out at first base. Finally, Braden Buchanan. I doubt he's going to get a hit. 2-2, strike 3. Braden Buchanan's out. And we leave the man on. In the 9th, Boston doesn't score anymore. And so here we go. Hayden Gustafson pinch hitting here. I don't know why. He does. Lines out to second base. David Palma now at second base here. Well, not at second base now, but at to bat from second base. And it's an easy throw from second base. Juan Ramos, pinch hitting. Doesn't make a lot of sense. And he pops up in the infield. That is your ball game. Boston wins 14-0. Probably one of the high scoring opening days we're going to see here in Toronto. And it's going to be a tough season for, I think, a long time. 10 runs, 3rd inning. Yikes. So our first one of the season comes pretty early here against Houston. The Blue Jays with a huge late comeback here. 1 in the bottom 8th, and then 2 in the bottom of the 9th to win on a walk-off. It was a run-scoring single by Higashi to win for your Blue Jays. And it started off by Jesus Carrillo, who started the season off for us, and good to get in the winning column early here in this season. Also, the mock draft was revealed. Here we have the 7th pick. They have us taking Jake Dake. Killer name by him. Draft pool. Let's see if we have anybody better than Jake Dake we can be hoping for. And that's just the pitchers. All players. It's a stacked class here. If we can get Gene Pierce, if we can get Mike Hill, that would easily kickstart something great for your Blue Jays here. It's looking to be a good class. available, and we have the 7th pick for it, so hopefully we're able to come away with something good, and it's looking like we will. Something better than Jake Dake. A player development update, and it's a huge one. Longoria getting an increase for Wilson Morales. Some decreases here as well, though. Jackson Miller, Andrew Costello, Cameron Haynes. Some players going up, though, I think we can see, and it's not too bad. 2-24 here on May 1st are your Blue Jays. A couple of injuries as well we've hit, so the record's only going to decline from here. So here we are with All-Star voting begins. Our pitching ERA is insane. Our base running is still average. Our errors are average. Bullpen's a little bit better, but slightly. Su Yen Chen still doing a great job for us. He's been a stellar player for us. Carpio, not a stellar start to his Blue Jays career, but his on-base percentage is way higher than his average. I just like to see him hitting slightly better in our uniform, and Matsumoto, a better year for him. But as we see it, we're not seeing more wins in that column as we are falling, and if we look at some of our minor league system, they're falling too, except for the FCL Blue Jays. They're doing actually pretty well. Dunedin struggling. They should be getting some reinforcements soon. On to the first year player draft. Obviously, there's going to be some things to pop up in between. And another player development update is one of them here, June 1st. Toronto Blue Jays. Yikes, hopefully my mic didn't just break there, but 2-52. Kimura getting an increase. Longoria. Newman, potential drop. Maldonado. And Haye. Ramirez getting a potential drop, but his stats are basically the same. Slade Caldwell up in left field. And a couple more drops here. Jorge Barbosa. Once again, you're going to put him in Rookie League. He's pitching crazy. Somehow he still drops potential. It's just bound to happen no matter what. But yeah, a good player development update there. Probably one of the best we've seen so far. So here we are on June 29th, and some of our midseason goals were 2-76. Yikes. Bring in a top player, didn't do that, didn't improve on base percentage, didn't win more. Attendance is the same, farm system's the same, chemistry hot mess, fan interest bottoms out. I'm going to extend all of these guys, and we look at our prospect systems report. We've fallen to 6 here. Contreras, Barbosa, and Sampson, our only players in the top 100. But if a positive thing to say here, look at our FCL Blue Jays. 27-16. We're going to make the playoffs here and find ourselves in a really great spot to get something going. And some of our great players, Jorge Barbosa playing well. I don't see a CJ, so I'll be looking out for where CJ is, where exactly they have him playing. If you look at pitching, we've just got so many pitchers. Is he a batter? Not entirely sure, but I'll let you guys know. Yes, CJ Sampson is injured. I should have noticed this. 13 innings pitched, but he's played pretty well. His batting stats, not so much-o, but a good start here in Rookie League from a pitching standpoint for CJ Sampson. Just hope that injuries proneness doesn't get any worse. I told you I'd be building from the ground up, and that's what I've been doing here. A tough one for Schoolcraft here, but Roussel Shepard growing, Gamble growing, Jackson Miller growing. I think I've seen him go up to 2.5 stars and then back down about 100 times. And then Luis Anaya losing a bit of potential, but his velocity increasing, and so his overall. Looking good. He might see himself get a call up to Rookie League next season. On to the draft. As we get to the draft, we've picked up our 3rd win, so great for us, and we are 3-85. I'm going to do a couple of player movement up and down. We finally have some reinforcements for our other teams, not just Rookie League. And have they played playoffs yet? That's actually a big question on my mind. FCL Blue Jays finishing 2nd, but snagging the wild card. They played the Marlins yesterday. Can I look at their schedule? I've never really gone deep on a Rookie League team. let's see here. Organization, strategy, front office. Last game. I'll figure it out and get back to you guys. So in round 1, the Blue Jays are facing the Marlins, as I'm going to be sending up and down some of our guys here. It's going to be interesting to see how this team gets shooken up a little bit. It's going to get shooken up a lot, I think. Well, it's been a great season. First year for Jorge Barbosa in Rookie League. Look at those stats. Good whip, good home runs, a couple walks, but just a great ERA, and you'll love to see it here for Jorge Barbosa. He's getting sent up to Dunedin. Also a good stint for David Guerrero in Rookie League. He's also going to earn himself a call-up to Dunedin. So great to see from that first class of minor international free agent signings, David Guerrero and Barbosa both doing really well in Rookie League. Also, third-round pick here, Cameron Haynes, also getting a send-up to Dunedin after an even better start than Barbosa had as a pitcher. Second-round pick, Everett Johnson, also getting a call-up here. Fifth-round pick, Jackson Miller, will get the same. A player who has not had as good of a start here in his second year now in rookie ball is Nelson Moreno. He's going to stick a third season next year in rookie ball. I think that'll be the charm, though, to get him up and running here for the Blue Jays. Also is CJ Sampson. Also had a great first year, 2 wins, 0 losses, only in 5 starts, but he's shown enough in those innings and batting that he should be at a higher level. And so off to Dunedin is CJ Sampson. And so is Cruz Schoolcraft, who's been used as a reliever only in a handful of innings, but I think he's been good enough where, his overall, his stuff is good enough where I can just send him straight up. So now we look at some of our numbers here in Dunedin, and we also look at in Rookie League. We're ready for an injection of players, as I'm going to send a couple of these guys who haven't really shown anything off to some teams who need them. So here we are at the first year player draft with the 7th pick. Let's take a look at all players. Yep. Let's make sure we're looking at Drew Toussaint's perspective, and we are. And look at all these potential stars up for grabs. We are going to have the 7th pick, so let's advance till then. And I am eyeing Gene Pierce, but I'll have a look around. Although the Canadian Rick Kimmer does look really good here in left field, I think I would be stupid to not take the college pitcher Gene Pierce here, 7th overall. His demand is easy. He's 22 years old, but just look at those stats and how high they are already. Fastball, slider, curveball, changeup, sinker, splitter. He's going to be a great player for us. He's an extreme ground baller. Zoom, Gene Pierce is the pick here at 7. And I know it's another starting pitcher, but what can you do when they come for you, if that makes any sense? Meet demand, Gene Pierce. Well, it may say impossible, but no hablo impossible here in Toronto. Deshaun Bethea is going to be the pick. We'll be able to match it somehow, some way. I know we've cut off a little bit of money left here. I don't know what the hell's going on with my phone right now, but second round, Deshaun Bethea. If not, we'll get a comp pick anyway. Deshaun Bethea is your pick. And we are going to take the great name of Jake Dake here in the 3rd round. Impossible. No hablo impossible here in Toronto. All right. Ability to prepare. This is what we're looking at here. A shortstop, lefty batting shortstop. He has potential to be really, really good. Jake Dake, welcome to Toronto. And I mean, just look at the talent here throughout the draft. And this is the quality we're going to get every single year from now on. Alejandro Sorto, the starting pitcher, is going to be our next pick. Straight out of high school. Straight out of Lincoln, Nebraska. Straight into our Rookie League team Alejandro Sorto. Let's meet his demand. And in the 5th round, it's going to be Tim Harkness. Still plenty of great talent here, but Tim Harkness is by far the best, and so we're going to take him in the 5th round, and I'll see you guys once this draft is over with. And this was the deepest class we've had so far. This is who we're sending out our money, and this is why one of the reasons we're not signing these big free agent, old free agents is because, 33 years old, not really going to do much, but a guy like Deshaun Bethea, who I'm sending $12 million, 4-star potential, could be really good for us for many years, not just the next 3 years. So that's why I'm sending Deshaun Bethea $12 million and not overpaying somebody for $25 million for a similar overall player in the future. So, obviously nothing's guaranteed, but that's sort of my thought process behind it. And not my short list, my draft transactions history. This is everybody that we took, if you care. The quality of player here was much higher than usual. I mean, it took us... Erwin Guffin's really good. 8th round just to get out of the 3-star prospects. We were dying for a 3-star batter here in the 8th round in these other drafts. So just a really, really great draft for us, and these guys are going to bring in some talent infused into our roster. Excited to see it. But we chug along here as they all populate our Rookie League team now, and everybody except for Gene Pierce, who I'm going to send straight into High A. I think High A is the place to put Gene Pierce straight off the bat. And Tomas Valanciunas was in this draft, the player who I wanted to pick up so long ago in the 2nd round. Was picked up by the Kansas City Royals in the 6th round of this year's draft. Potential fallen a little bit, but his other ratings have come up slightly. Unfortunate, I wasn't able to get him when I tried, but, those things happen, and, I'm not missing out, I think, with Tomas Valanciunas too badly. We're going to chug along here onto all-star teams. We are at the all-star break here. Luis Medina finally out of the starting role that he did not deserve to be in, but he did get a win eventually as a starter. As we look here, we are at the all-star game rosters. A couple of predictions. Some of you may have already seen it. I have not. Here, Jesus Carrillo here as our pitcher has done really well. I could see him, but it's obviously not Jesus Carrillo as a starter. So Luis Carpio getting your all-star selection really turned it around since the beginning of the season. And he gets a lot of walks, and that's what he does. And he's now an all-star in Major League Baseball, which is great for him. Soo-Yen Chen, not as good as Carpio has been this year, but both of them, one of the only. I mean, this start of our lineup's decent. They're MLB caliber players, and we just need to find more of them. And I would be surprised to see any other all-stars, but who knows? As we look here, Luis Carpio, obviously popping up right there. And nothing else for your Blue Jays. In the prospects games, it's Jorge Barbosa, who's at 2 WAR. CJ Sampson also making an appearance. And anybody else for us here? No. CJ Sampson and Jorge Barbosa as your pitchers. Let's take a look at some of our teams here. No wins for the Fisher Cats. No wins for the Canadians. Unfortunate stuff. And let's keep chugging along. We were also able to get Deshaun Bethea and Tim Harkness to sign. I don't know if Harkness, he was. They both have signed here with your Blue Jays because I gave them so much money. And it's time to now keep on going. Soo-Yen Chen, unfortunately, has gotten an injury for 3 to 4 weeks, so onto the IL he goes. We'll see if we can pick up somebody to replace him. Our player development update here in August is as follows. Just Jim Matthews increasing a little bit, as Randy Seme does as well. Here is our home screen. Vancouver Canadians getting their first win. I wouldn't be surprised if it was because of Gene Pierce, and it wasn't. Although maybe they got it in the end. But Vancouver and the Canadians getting on the board now. Just the Fisher Cats need to as well. Jeez, look at the back end of this rotation. Here is how your Blue Jays are standing, and our base running is still only the thing we can do somewhat decently. Well, Su Yen Chen is back into the lineup for your Blue Jays, and we've won a couple of games since you've last seen us. 5-115. Will we get back to the 7-win mark? This is the question everyone is asking. Here is your player development update. I'm interested about Jorge Barbosa faring in Dunedin, and he's been fine. You know, I'm okay with that. Does lose a little bit of potential, but once again, I think it's going to be easy for him to regain that as he shoots up the leagues. We are at September 1st, roster expansion, 126 or your Blue Jays. We're going to struggle to find a couple guys to send up, but we'll do it as we're going to continue chugging along. Once again, this is how the roster is filling out. Still struggling in just about everything. Still hunting for those 7 wins that we won upon a dream time. What am I even saying? Had Gene Pierce. Being okay in high A. I think he'll spend another season there, though. Here we are as we continue chugging along here past roster expansion. This is your season in review for your Toronto Blue Jays. Carpio, our all-star, was decent. Su Yen Chen, also decent. Played 1 game in AAA. Not as good as last year, though, for sure. A couple of other players, Matsumoto, playing shortstop, struggling at shortstop as you would expect. And then the only other player to bat over 200 is Luis Miera. Not good. Carrillo, with a good start. A couple of WAR, so happy for him. Daiki Kim, no WAR, but I'll take a no WAR player. I'll take a replacement level player. That's the point I'm at. Juan Lozano was not replacement level. Ledesma, not replacement level. And neither was Kaba. Just, thrown out there. 13 ERA, not 15, but 15 was Sergio Ledesma. Yikes. In the bullpen, Wilson Morales, once again, a solid year for him in the bullpen. As well as Luis Medina, once he got his shot in the bullpen. Played a lot better than as a starter. And, that's where he should be for the future on now. And everybody else kind of stunk. And our base running stunk as well. We finished 5-57. No wins for the Fisher Cats. Canadians 3-20, 129. Dunedin, same as last year. FCL Blue Jays, pretty solid here. I don't think they won their series. No, they lost to the Marlins, but that's because we sort of messed with their squad. They'll be back next year, I'm sure, and we're building from the bottom up. And this is what I'm telling you guys, just have to be patient. We'll build through the FCL Blue Jays to Dunedin, to Vancouver, to New Hampshire, to Buffalo, to Toronto, and that's what we're going to do. And it's just going to take a little bit of time. But we'll see some additions we're going to make in the future. We're at the playoffs, so International Free Agent Showcase is up next. And that's been your season review for Season 4 for the 2027 season in Toronto. This is who we're going to be scouting in the International Free Agency period, and I'll let you guys know who we end up selecting once we get there. But before then, the end of the season will arrive. So let's go for it. Your World Series champions are the Texas Rangers. Our overall score is 1. Once again, our MLB career record is 25 and 623. Yikes. But we continue to roll our new budget. Our prospect list. We'll take a look at this. Contreras still up there. We're in 3rd now. Gene Pierce 13th. Jake Drake 60th. Jorge Barbosa. I don't like the sight of that, but what can you do? CJ Sampson as well in the top 100. Some arbitration and MLB looking to expand the 2028 season. Interesting. Luckily, nobody really I need to protect, so I should be fine. that's the uh, that's the luckiest bit of news I think we've heard about. Let's see this guy. Oh, okay. Well, just about the worst thing that could have happened because there's no he'll be fodder. Luis Silva, welcome to being fodder for our other teams. Let's look at arbitration. Choose expansion teams. Oh, this will be fun. Let me randomize it 3 times and see what we're getting. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's just nicknames. It's Charlotte. It's Jacksonville. Both going in the East divisions here. Charlotte Spiders, Jacksonville Ducks. Sure. Next step. Entire minor league system. Looks good to me. Create fill with fictional players. No. New coaches for teams. Yep. Sign coaches to teams. Expansion draft. Yep. Number of protected players. 25. Yep. No limit. Okay. Let's expand this league. Okay. I've never done this before in Out of the Park Baseball, like during a season, so this is going to be interesting. It's creating these teams. I doubt Charlotte and Jacksonville's logos are going to look good at all, but I know there's like something. If they're auto-generated, I don't know exactly what's going on here. Great Glove, salary arbitration, expansion draft after free agency filings. Interesting. All right, well, I'll see you guys if we have any awards, and if not, I'll see you guys at arbitration, free agency, and the expansion draft. So nothing silver, gold, platinum, MVP, rookie, nothing for us here for your Blue Jays. Not even a single scrap of a vote. That's just about how bad we are. They want us to check development complex. I don't know what this one thing is about. If you do, let me know in the comments. I have no clue. I'm just going to respond to message. What message? I don't know. Reading them all. Anyway, on to arbitration here. I've just made a couple. I've sent out arbitration just to all of our guys here, and we'll see what we get back. The first time we've actually had to go through arbitration, and it's not showing up. World. Interesting. Okay, it has to be world, I guess. It's just trade proposals, I think. Oh, they were going to give me a job? Oh, no. We've lost Craig Driver as our first base coach. He's off to the White Sox to become their bench coach. That's what it was egging me on about. And here's all of our arbitration. If you care, here it is. Everybody's staying because we need bodies here on this team. And I gotta hire myself a new first base coach. So I'll show you guys that once I've done that. So I've decided to hire Britton Sheeb for all the reasons you see right there. Yeah, this is who our new first base coach is going to be in the MLB. So yeah, I'll move on to some bigger and brighter things. And this is the type of player that changes the course of your franchise. The type of player you just dream shows up here in your international free agent market or whatever. Flyball pitcher, a little annoying, but everything else is really good, and his compensation, his contract demand is super low. Didn't mean to create a note. Let me just delete that note. Everything else is very appetizing here. Let's figure out a deal. And I want him locked up for good, so I'm offering 10 years till he's 33, $5 million, super cheap deal. Let's submit that offer. Juan Cervantes, going to be a Blue Jay. And this is the offer I'm getting in for Nelson Ambriz, the relief pitcher as well. He's getting $10 million. This is the player we're getting for that amount. Really good fastball, really good slider. Scrapes 100 miles per hour, power pitcher. He's going to be great for us as our, closer, but a really productive amateur, or not amateur, just international free agency period for us. Something that we really needed. Just some two big pitchers that is going to help out our bullpen and starting rotation just that much. And no more 5-win seasons, I'm sure. I'm sure it's got to be. And so here's our protection list. We don't have one because everybody's in AAA, and if they leave, they leave. I'm going to let them do that. Yeah, let's see. Let's submit nobody in our protection list. Wild. We'll see if anybody gets picked here. I mean, we might as well just advance to the expansion draft, which is tomorrow. Received a personal message. Agrees manager, who's going to be Dunedin's new manager as we move to the expansion draft. Jacksonville Ducks and Charlotte Spiders. I mean, I don't hate the logos. They're fine, I guess. And here we go. 35 rounds. Start the draft. I mean, there is nobody. Oh, I'm sorting the wrong direction. Yeah, there's some guys to pick up here. Okay. Autocomplete draft. Let's do it. And nobody from your Blue Jays is selected. Makes a lot of sense. Now we're going to move on to Hall of Fame. See if we can sign any of those free agents we've been looking at. Well, the draft lottery has been announced, and I swear it's the same thing every season. Pick 6 is where your Blue Jays are going to be. I don't get it. I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me. But here we are, 6th pick once again. Probably going to be 7 or 8. Something that just crossed my mind, which I don't know why it just crossed my mind, but the expansion draft teams are going to pick ahead of me. And also, how bad are we going to be? Are we going to be worse than the expansion draft teams? That's a huge question coming into next season. My gut says yes, because we probably will only win about 15 games at most next year. But a man can dream. Here we are at the Rule 5 draft. Let's see if there's any guys I need to protect. Actually, a couple. I'll go ahead and protect those guys and continue shuffling on. And right before the turn of the new year, some amazing news. Juan Cervantes has signed, the starting pitcher out of Cuba, $5 million a year for the next 10 years. And he's going to be in our rotation for the next 10 years probably. Wow, what a signing here for Juan Cervantes and the Blue Jays as well. Man, we need to... hopefully he doesn't get shelled and his potential completely drops, but his stuff, his control is already there. His fastball, slider, curveball is already there. I don't see a way this could go wrong. Juan Cervantes, welcome to the Blue Jays. Welcome to your future here. $50 million, 10-year deal with the Blue Jays. Let's see what everybody's saying about it. Nothing. Maybe they're not saying anything. Anyway, I'll let you know if we sign any more free agents as we... Yoshikawa, who's going to be a starting pitcher for us next year as well, 34 though. He's signed up, and I'll let you know if we sign anybody else up of note, or if not, then we'll just be on our way towards international amateur free agency. So here we are at international amateur free agency. I'll let you go. It's been a long recording session, long day. I've done the last 2 episodes today. Anyway, let me just say, let's get into international amateur free agency. I'll let you guys know who I pick, and we also have a couple of free agent deals still mulling about. So, milling about? I don't know. I'll let you guys know what happens once it happens. And it was my highest offer to Nelson M. Breeze, but we did come to a conclusion that we were both satisfied with $13.5 million per year as our closer. He's going to be a great player for us here in the bullpen, and I'm happy to have him for however long we have. I'm probably just going to have him for arbitration, but we shall see. Noodle Arm is what we're going to call him, Nelson Noodle Ambreets. Welcome to the Blue Jays in the bullpen as we get some stuff going on. Let's see what they say. Blockbuster signing. Marquee talents headed to the Blue Jays. 5'9", but He pitches at 100 velocity. Insane. So we have signed the power hitting center fielder, probably going to play left field for us, realistically. Andres Olmos here from the Dominican, righty batter, just a power fly ball hitter. He'll crank as many home runs as we ask him to. He's got a decent eye as well, needs to up the contact, but I think he shall. Needs to up the avoid Ks, but I think he shall. Really, really hopeful that he could just hit a million home runs for us in the future. But we'll see. Andres Olmos, corner outfielder in the future for us. Welcome to the Blue Jays. And yeah, that's been all of our money. So that's going to do it for this episode for 2028. Thank you for listening, for watching. This took me a little bit longer than usual as we get more players to manage and more seasons through. It's going to take longer and longer. So I appreciate your patience. And I thank you for watching and listening and commenting and doing all that fun stuff. And, we continue to press on with this series. And, there's going to be better times ahead for Blue Jays fans. I promise you that. We have a team now fully our own. Now after this year, we're going to have an organization. After next year, our organization fully of our own. And it's going to be fun to see. So I thank you once again, and I'll see you guys next year.